And we are live. Hi guys, thank you for coming.
Hello,
Hi
everybody.
Lola. Hey Vlad. Hey Nat. Dragonfly. I appreciate you guys for coming. Um, Para is here to tell his story today. I'm gonna mute because the kids are home from school this week. So
Yeah, yeah, he'll do 90% of the talking, and I'll throw up questions that you guys may have as we go, and but it'll be 90% Para today, absolutely. Yep. So,
Hello,
when,
everybody. I'm going to talk about my experiences with sexual abuse. And back when I was 9-ish, I haven't fixed the exact dates because it's been so long ago, but I'd a, a mentor figure in my brother's life molested me and him 9-ish until to 12, 13-ish. And started when we'd go over his house for overnights, and he had a hot tub, and he'd pull stuff there in the hot tub, and then it just slowly escalated. But this guy, he uh, he actually got a job at a children's themed restaurant, popular children's themed restaurant, and that was the big because that's why they do that. And we just thought that was the world, man. But and for the price, I had to pay. It was pretty cool. But he also ended up being a movie theater manager. So, but it's true what they say about uh, predators and pedophiles. They do like to be around kids. Before that, he was a pediatric nurse. So that we learned that, and it came out that he was fired from that for having his he left his briefcase at work, and when they opened it up to see whose it was, because the engraving had broken off, they had found that it he had Polaroids of naked boys. Uh, but he it took my mom catching him in the act. He was just getting more and more bold. The escalation was from uh, him performing oral on me to oral with digital, and then he tried to get me to perform on him. The That escalation of abuse and the boldness and the sloppiness of it is what eventually got him caught. Because the more they get into it, there's But the one thing that got me is that he did make exploitation content of me because he had a VHS, and that's kind of why I have a mission against uh, exploitation content to this day. I hunt down and troll and then report and do other things with groups that think he's all a boo. And but here's the one thing, and this is through my adult survivors of sexual abuse anonymous. I had learned that, and this is really big in uh, like the Boy Scouts, in molestation cases in the Boy Scouts, and some church cases where the offender will actually have their victim. Uh, oh, I'm lost. Am I still here?
yeah, your avatar
My
is just
camera.
up now. Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Yep.
Is and this is a hard thing to go through. Is that he made me offend against his niece, and that I mean, I never gotten to like to make amends with her or talk with her or anything, and that was hard. And that kind of made it hard for me to come forward. Thankfully, he got caught. I had a few chances to. Yeah, it's just not. It's just a whole nother let it go. And the reason I didn't come forward, I was actually uh, asked by one of his family members, and I said no, 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 no. And then I was asked by my mom, and I said no. And then she called him, and I don't think like she didn't want us to go through it all, so I don't think she called the cops. But she kicked him out of our lives. And then a good chunk of time went by, and we went to a family reunion of his family because we were still tight with the family. And he took me to pick up something at the store, and I didn't tell my mom. And he took me to the store, and he tried it again. And then I stood up and I said, "No, no, no, no." This is. And as soon as I got back, I told. So it
Mhm.
For you.
it got me in a slow way. It like outburst,
Mhm.
and I mean I deal with schizoaffective, but that didn't help any. Having that unresolved in my mind because we had like a shot at we had like two sessions with counselors because there just wasn't there's so much more resources nowadays for
Mhm.
survivors and stuff. And you have your pick of thanks, Terrence. It's it took me down a long road. Uh, Homelessness. Uh, I've been homeless by choice. I've been homeless by consequences. And luckily, I never picked up any charges for drugs and stuff. That kind of helped my case. And I joined the army, and that's where my mind snapped when I was 18. The schizoaffective came in, so I got out of the army early and just hit the road. Didn't even like, and I just had this craziest adventure, and I got caught up in that. And as long as that was going, I did the dead, I did all that stuff. So I had some good years in there.
Right.
But it's hard to find good years when something like it's like it really tore up our family. My mom thought that I had hated her for the way she handled it for years.
Yeah.
I know the fall. His family gave him one chance, and then the second chance, my mom had he had after uh he stopped hanging around with my mom. They weren't dating or anything, but he'd hang around with my mom,
Hmm.
and and he met a woman through somebody that she knew, and she had five boys. My mom had four, and he he molested two of those boys, and my mom warned her.
Wow.
I mean this guy, and he picked up charges, but he never did more than 3 years, not all at once, but like 1 year, 1 year, and 1 year.
Yeah.
But he's a category 4 or 5.
Wow.
And then, you know what the tiers are, right?
Yeah, I was
Mhm.
gonna say, I think we went over some of them last time.
Uh, well, thanks, Lala Blue. Like a lot of my strength comes from like my therapist and stuff, and I'm going through some things that are bringing it up right now. Uh, and I'm getting a there's the case is being handled retroly, so he's not gonna get any time out of it. But it will go on. It may end up on his record through channels, through the mentor program.
That'd be great.
Yeah, because there's, I guess, a few states lifted the statute of limitations on charges for sexual abuse.
Yep.
And reopened a lot of retro cases.
Oh wow.
Like they also created a window for lawsuits against family or other entities associated with the abuser.
Wow.
Every state needs to do that, I believe, because
Mhm.
stuff shouldn't shut down after 10 years, let's say,
One thing, yeah,
crazy.
one thing
Definitely.
that got me was that going through a few different nonprofit survivor groups.
Mhm.
There's some nonprofits that don't welcome uh, uh, survivors with offenses,
Yep.
or
Mhm.
or if they do, they don't encourage the talk of that.
Right.
And I got to know a lot of people from the Jesus Love movement.
Mhm.
Have you ever heard about that?
I
No.
never heard of them.
Jesus Love Incorporated. Oh, I
Yep.
gotta send you a link to that.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, sometimes
What
you gotta definitely gotta check that out.
do
That
they
was
do?
that was the insanest cult ever, man.
What is it
Uh,
that they do there?
a lot of abuse, sexual
Mhm.
abuse to children. They
Yep.
did a thing called love bombing where they would prostitute out their females
Wow.
to get people to join. And then there was a splinter group that said, "Well, we're the original core, and we don't hold to that guy's values anymore." So they went off on their own, but the stigma stayed, and they were still doing, even though they didn't do children, they still did the adults. And it, yeah, they changed their name a few times, and even like, uh, yeah, that's a big thing, man. Like any adult survivor group will have like people from that movement,
Wow.
and just
That's that's good though.
Yeah.
That's
I just
better
know
than
any,
here
nothing.
with
any questions.
Jesus, they're in Kensington. I do a lot of work with that organization, but that other one I got to look into. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, I mentioned schizoaffective. There's something I'd like you to play. Let me. If
You would
you
have
can, you
to
put something.
send it to Variety, because he knows how to do it, so we can see it.
I'll send it to you, Joel,
Okay.
so you can send it to
And
him.
I was gonna
We'll
say,
play
and I'll
relay.
send it to him. I'll try to not exit off the stream.
Is it a channel I can go to, Para? That I can go to
Yeah,
myself real quick?
it's yeah.
Just tell me what it is.
Paracosmonaut with two zeros instead of O's.
Okay.
The mental state or mental vacation. That's kind of been my my anti-drug and my
Oh, it's your channel.
craft therapy is my editing. This comes with
Yeah.
trigger warnings. It's a little bit heavy on the. It's a simulation of a schizoaffective attack.
Well, your channel's small, so it's not coming up for me. Does anybody in chat have Para's channel on hand that you could put in there, and I could just click the link in chat? Exactly, Terrence. I did, man. I had to. You know.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, but the people that know me know what my name is. But I was gonna put it
Right.
back to Variety, but you're right.
I
His
think you
channel's
should legally go
small.
back to Variety.
I'm
I
subbed
know,
to
and I was
Para,
gonna
but
say because I have
let
it,
me
but
see.
on my actual account, not the PP Mass Extra, so it would be
So
hard for me to
this
search
tape
that.
or this video is has been a 3-year project. Every May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month,
Mm-hmm.
I add to it and or refine it and
Yep.
I use pictures from a mental hospital that's now abandoned.
Oh wow.
If somebody
I'll send it to
goes in the
you. I'll
chat,
send it to you,
let me
Jules.
know.
I'll DM it to you on
Yeah, I
Insta.
was gonna say if we can't find it, you can send
It's
me a
there.
link. Yep. And then I'll just send the link to Variety.
Yeah.
I gotta use my somebody's got okay.
Thanks, Lala.
Thank you, Lala. Appreciate it. Let me just click her link and then I'll go to the video. That's why I said that because I knew somebody in the chat would have it. All right.
Then, so the good news is that after this, after I show this, I always show the tranquility one, and then the laughter one. So I put those in there to kind of buffer it afterwards, kind of like what do they call that, a chaser.
Yeah. Let me go to StreamYard on the laptop now also.
You're the pilot.
Yeah, for a second, yeah. All right, StreamYard. And then I'll kick myself off of this one when we go up so there's no interference.
Yeah, but I've been dialed in. I went to the mental hospital like just the last week ago. I had I had a bad experience. I had some screwed up people stay here because you get lonely because I'm in a different spot and I'm like far away from my old place. And I invited a couple, and they'd been doing drugs and slamming them, and they had a guy over one night, and I kicked them out, and then I cleaned up after them, and I found what I thought was just a blunt. So I smoked it, and it turned out it was dirty, laced with crack. Am I in?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
going to the
Yeah,
chat.
it was laced with crack, and that didn't agree with my meds at all.
Yeah, let me turn this one down. Going to the
Yeah, it was laced with crack.
That's crazy.
Didn't agree with my meds at all.
My bad.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, it's the sound's going crazy because you're loading something. That's right. Well, you guys switched around. Well, you guys switched around.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. All right,
Is-
Para. Yeah, go to your channel. Which
Well, you guys switched around. Can you hear me?
fuck.
Yeah.
That's
We can
the
hear you.
Alexa. All right, Para. Yeah, go to your channel. What's the video called, Para?
Can you hear me? What?
What's the video called?
Mental vacation.
Okay.
It's toward the middle.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, you're good.
What's the video called? Mental vacation.
Okay. I got my Alexa hooked up. That's why it's sounding the way it is.
It's toward the middle.
All right. Okay.
What?
Yeah, you're good.
What's the video called? Mental vacation.
I got my Alexa hooked up. That's why it's Bear with me, chat. I apologize here. Wasn't expecting to play a video. Bear with me, chat. I apologize here.
I should have brought that up in post show.
Yeah, it's all right. Let me just turn my Alexa off so it's just my laptop and we don't have that weird sound. Oh, let me, I got it. Okay, it's a 3-minute video. Gotcha. All right, let me go to that. All right.
Fourth place is anybody with sensitive psychiatric conditions might want to skip out for 3 minutes or 3.5 minutes and then come back. Is it up yet or?
Yeah. You'll see it on the screen. Let me just go on my phone so I can watch it while it's playing.
Yeah, whatever way is easier for you, honey.
While it's playing. Okay. Sorry, chat. Just give me 1 second.
Man, Alex had a really good premiere of that one with the father that came out. Man,
Oh yeah, that was a good
he was
catch.
staring daggers through that. Even that cop was giving that kid like looks, man. Like I think the only thing he had going for him with his father not laying him out was that he's I guess physically, mentally disabled.
Yeah,
I think that if he didn't have that going for him, I think his father would have laid him out.
Oh yeah, you could tell his dad wanted to big time.
Yeah,
I saw it live. It was crazy.
he called him dude. That's like a father calling his son dude. That's disowning. That's you're done, son. I got prickles up the hair on my head the way that man talked. When men talk like that, I got prickles up the hair on my head the way that man talked. Go ahead and start from the beginning. You got it from the end.
And then you can just mute your mic if you can, Tara. And then you can just mute your mic if you can, Tara. And then you can just mute your mic.
You have willed that Saint Dimphna should be invoked by thousands of clients as the patroness of nervous and mental disease, and have brought it about that her interest in these patients should be an inspiration to and an ideal of charity throughout the world, and that through the prayers of this youthful martyr of purity, those who suffer from nervous and mental illness everywhere on earth recommend to you in particular, please to hear the prayers of Saint Dimphna and your Blessed Mother. Give those whom I recommend the patience to bear with their affliction and resignation to do your divine will. Give them the consolation they need, and especially the cure they so much desire.
Unusual, isn't it?
Content warning. The following video that you're about to watch contains mention of lewd acts with a minor, as well as sexual statements. This video has the potential to cause triggers, as well as flashbacks. People should take their time while viewing this video, and young people should have permission from a parent or guardian before viewing, or watch this video under adult supervision. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Kill it. Kill it.
I was gonna say some Justin Bieber too.
It's still playing.
Kill it. There. What do you think of that?
Was that it, Tara?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Thank you, Variety.
Interesting, huh?
No problem. Just give me 1 second. I'm
I
fixing to
know,
go out
Terrence.
in a
I was
minute.
like, oh, I'm like, we're getting some Justin on here.
Yeah.
Just to give people something mellow to go out to after that palate cleanser. I'll send one more.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting a lot of feedback off of it, but at least, you know, they can, if we get too much feedback when he tries to click in it, they can all, you know, always go in there and watch it after, you know. Oh, you're in here double time, Sean.
The other one should be gone. Hold on.
We got 2 varieties. Whoop, whoop.
Do you know who Saint Dimphna is?
Yeah. Did you guys hear it okay?
Yeah.
I mean, it was, you know, obviously it was, you know, a mental break like thing. So there was a lot of like racket with it as well. So,
Yep.
all right. Gotcha. Yeah, I'll what I'll do later is I'll watch it myself on my laptop or whatnot. It's
Right.
just good when you know in advance when you're sharing something, because I would have been a little bit more prepared for that, you know.
Right. Yeah, and
So-
I mean, like I said, the next video at least people can go sub to his channel and kind of go watch it, you know.
Yeah.
And like next time we'll know ahead of time, so that way we can try to do like have you log on a different thing. I gotta figure out how to like do all that on here, but like I know I think there's like an option, I think, for screen sharing, but
Well, you could
Uh,
share on a
actually, you can
phone.
find it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, you could do
Yeah.
it.
it's I Fade Away. The next one,
Yeah.
the next one to cleanse the palate is called I Fade Away. It's a tie-dye eye.
I'll type it in chat so when people go look at your channel, they can find it.
Right on.
To see a
I got a lot of strange stuff up from my strange mind.
Please go to his channel and view. And what's it called? I Fade Away?
Yeah.
Okay.
So part of what I do in the decoy chats is I take my experience from the talks and the stories that they share on really disgusting sites
Yeah.
and meeting places, and I take that and I work them into to capturing their fantasy and to captivate and to get them to use their fantasies to gain information from them. So I think of questions or ways to go about getting certain content from them.
Right.
It's encouraging when the decoys use my and they're finding some of the stuff that I put out there gets like results, and they got their own little tricks too, but and
Right.
just the way to phrase things sometimes,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Tatiana said there are several members of this community that need some prayers and good vibes. So just sending prayers and good vibes to those people of the community.
Reaching into my prayer bag right now.
Absolutely. Yep.
And John Davis, I'm sorry about your friend, your buddy that was a cop.
Yeah.
I hate when cops die.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We're praying for everybody. Absolutely.
Blue flags
Right.
up.
You know.
I learned the other day that the U.S. Marshals are the most have the most casualties of most law enforcement.
Yeah.
I believe it. Yeah, they go headfirst into a lot of the most dangerous situations with the
Yeah,
ATF.
they go for the most dangerous.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then it's state bureau officers under that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Very true. Absolutely.
The moment you cross state lines, the federal marshals can come for you in a whole different game, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I know. I wish they had a better justice system for every area. It's like seems like most of these guys get a slap on the wrist, so it just
Like I tell these catchers, if Leo don't do nothing, go to county. If county don't do nothing, go to state.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And if they come across state line, you can go to the marshals.
Yeah.
And they don't make a hell of a lot of money neither,
No, they
marshals
don't.
or ATFs,
I've heard that. Their hours are like intense, and that's why they make so little. Is because their hours are like, I mean, they can do a 36-hour shift.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like they don't really get the breather they deserve, especially with the jobs they do.
Yeah. While I'm on here, I want to put out a shout out for a group that's really like, besides catchers, there's this one group is really out there doing on a the human trafficking level is Vets for Child Rescue.
Mm-hmm.
Probably put a link for that in the description because they're awesome, man. It's a retired Navy SEAL, a retired CIA agent, and a retired FBI agent.
Yeah, you'll have to send me the link to it, Para, and I'll post it in the community post after.
Yeah.
Where are they based out of, Para?
They're national.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah, I'll
it's
look
for
them up
human
later.
trafficking, you said?
Yeah, they go up to the human trafficking level. They go they go in, they track camps, they they track human trafficking routes.
Wow.
Wow, that's
They got
good.
they got an ultralight or a parasail.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got all the gear, so they're kind of like their contract to like whatever agency is overloaded. Excuse me.
Right. Thank you, Lala.
I'll be back in the on camera in a sec, guys. My bad. I just got to take care of a few
Yeah,
things.
no problem, Brady.
Yep. But I'm here with you.
Lala's on point,
Yeah,
asking for links, and she's just posting them.
yeah, we got to give her a raise. You
I
know.
know, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to discuss
Like,
your raise after the stream there, Lala.
Man, one of the people in my adult survivors group
Hmm.
was targeted by the caseworker for Make a Wish because her sister had leukemia,
Yep.
mm-hmm.
and her sister's caseworker molested her.
Wow.
That's
That
crazy.
blew up. That
Yeah.
blew up. Make a Wish, like, they really showed how serious they are about like stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. But and no prior, so that it wouldn't have showed up anything on the background check, or because they do thorough background checks for Make a Wish,
Right.
especially for their caseworkers. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. They do for sure. Um, is that Tara Zactyl? Just want to say congrats on your 2 years sober. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Congrats on that. Absolutely. Every day
And
you got
I've
is
been
good.
except for that dirty roach, but that really bought me, man. Oh gosh, that scared me. Like the next day, I was like the traffic was freaking me out, like because I live right by traffic,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and I was so sensitive. And it's just like now my meds are dialed in. I'm just like takes a while to get the meds dialed in.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Stressor set even with the meds, it stress sets you off.
Right. Exactly, John. As long as people know not to be afraid to ask for help. The thing is it's hard for people to find like the right place to do it, that they're comfortable enough to do it. You know what I mean? So, so I'm definitely glad
True.
that me and Variety Stream made you feel comfortable enough to say that. So we definitely are congratulating you on that. Let's see. Oh, Lala, Zach, not Tack.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking too. I'm like, Tack. I'm like, did somebody else say something? But they fixed it.
We are you able to get that one video? I fade away.
It was given a lot of feedback, so I told Lala to post it in the chat so people can
Okay,
go to
right
your
on. That's excellent.
your thing and
Yeah,
listen.
that's
Yeah.
something to cleanse the palate after that psychotic break.
Right.
Yeah.
May's coming up, so I'm gonna be doing it. I'm gonna be retouching or re-editing it.
Yeah. That'll be cool. Because you said you do a
Absolutely.
little bit every year, right?
Yeah, for 3 years.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Real big
Yeah.
mental health advocate.
Yep. It's good though. It's big. I mean, a lot of people, don't speak on it very much. So I think it's, mental health awareness is a huge thing, so it's great for people to actually be able to,
While I'm
research
here, I
it
want
and
to share about a
see.
project I have in mind.
Sure.
I already opened one account for it called Fiend Watcher.
Mm-hmm.
And what it basically is for these it serves two purposes. One, pretense, and the other one the actual purpose of it. The pretense is that when predator mostly disingenuously says, "I need help and I want to get help,"
Mhm.
because these guys are just spouting out what they think they want, what they think the catcher wants them to hear or
Right.
wants to hear, and when it's always the catcher that brings up the help, but in the cases that the catch uh says I need help, I want to get them to go to send them to a follow up on their follow up. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like because I can grill them in a way or where it's not grilling them. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's getting a little bit more information. It's keeping them around to kind of like to pick their brains
Yep.
as well as offer accountability under the pretense of offering accountability. Like you say you want to get help, show us you're getting help, and then maybe have Zoom sessions, which were called impact sessions, because when in my adult survivors group, we were given the option to make a recording that a sex offender caseworker, uh, when they hold their impact sessions,
Yep.
where they put one on the hot seat and they ask them stuff, or they have to listen to statements by victim or survivors.
Right. Like when you're in
Yeah.
court and you're doing the
Right, and sometimes they would have to bring their accountable family member to the Zoom meeting, and it also gives me a chance for me to connect with family or friends uh directly related to the predator. That's something I'd like to launch. Is kind of like it's the pretense of aftercare, but in reality, it's kind of like it's putting them in a pasture. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good
Putting them in
idea.
a fishbowl, and then
Right.
that would introduce the possibility for more content down the line of follow ups and like what happened with your life, if you got help, if you didn't get help,
Right.
uh, what happened? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I could find
Mhm.
out other information because I
I think
go
it's
to a
good.
lot of, you know what I mean? I could pick their brains about like their search history, their preferences for content and
Mhm.
stuff like that in casual uh using Bazooey, which is a craft I practice, basically deceiving the deceptive or the manipulator. There's
Right.
nothing I like more than manipulating deceivers or deceiving manipulators.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, Rob.
So kind of mention that around in the circles you're in.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
let them know that there's Fiend Watcher on IG, and I'm gonna start a not a Facebook, but uh another like a telegram for them to go to because I mean I go into some pretty disgusting groups or pardon me
Yeah.
websites and groups, and I know what to look for, and I keep up to date on their jargon and their, you know, I try to
Yep.
do it like in small sessions, and then I
Mhm.
stop for a long period because it you get a literal knot in your gut from being that
Right.
close to the abyss. You
Yeah.
cannot circle the abyss, and definitely do not stare into the abyss. Do not stare into the abyss.
Yep.
You know about
Very
Nietzsche's
true.
saying, right? I bet Variety knows Nietzsche's saying
Uh-huh.
about monsters and staring into the abyss.
Yeah, but you're way more into it than me with that type of stuff. You know, that's
Yeah, don't stare
you
into
know,
the abyss because the abyss stares back at you.
yeah. Well, that's it. I don't want the abyss to stare back at me. You know.
Yeah,
But
that's why I get close enough to hear the to hear the swirls, and that's it.
Right.
absolutely
Wear
true.
sunglasses like Variety.
Absolutely. That's you got to. If
Yeah,
they
I was
can
just
see
gonna say,
straight into my,
variety knows what's up.
yeah, that's
It's called
you
you
can't
gotta
see in
look
my
you
eyes.
gotta watch out of your peripheral.
Smart man.
Exactly.
Even if you just catch the shadows, you're doing all right. You can orientate from that.
Yep.
Yep,
But
very true.
there's are you familiar with like gray sites
Mm-mm,
that slide under legality?
Hmm.
I don't think so.
There's a few of them that I mean oh man, it's I mean I reported them directly to like customs and
Yep.
U.S. Marshals,
Yeah.
and there's very little they can do about them.
Well, there's a lot.
Uh,
Yeah. A
I was
lot of
gonna
them.
say, I bet, because there's a lot. Yeah.
there's a popularity of child-sized dolls.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Uh, uh, the new um the new Uprise is 3D generated.
Yep. That's
It,
insane.
it's I mean it wins you, and it brings me to tears sometimes, just because I can see, like I could tell. I have that radar. I'm sure Jules knows what I'm talking about, where you could tell uh a person that's been is a survivor.
Yes.
You pick up on that.
Yep.
Well, among these sites are these ones that stray in, kind of like the curious of them,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just getting into it because they're starting to perpetuate the cycle. They become those cases where those abused become abusers.
Yeah. I know, and it kills me every time. It's like, you know what you felt like. Why would you want to project that onto anybody else?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, some of them think it's how they get their power back, or
Right.
they may have been in a situation where, like me, their offender made them offend,
Mm-hmm.
or the offender made them go get victims, or they introduced victims to their offender.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, because it's like, I mean, they say, some of those with Stockholm syndrome and stuff, they'll be willing to do anything for their abuser or their captor
Yeah.
because it's, I mean, you genuinely feel like
Mhm.
this is all you have.
Yeah. I listened to a rare interview where the victim became an abuser, and the key thing they said over and over again was that is how I get my I thought that's how I get my power back.
Yeah. I'll have to look it up.
So
I'll definitely have to look it up for sure. And it's called that. I thought that's how I got my power back.
yeah, I don't think you'll find it. It was like I that's something I saw before I was even on the internet. It got
Yeah.
even got into the internet.
Sorry,
That's
y'all. I'm
okay.
just on the move today, but I'm listening. So I apologize to the chat if I'm
So
making you dizzy.
vlog. That's all right. I've been
Yeah,
Have
back
you
at
well,
ever
work
heard
taking care
about
of the kids.
what's his name? Oh, I keep
But
forgetting his
vlog.
name. But
So it's Para, and while he was in the process of being molested, his molester, his abuser, made him do stuff with their niece. So it wasn't like he, now as an adult, he just randomly decided. No, it was all while he was a child.
there's a case I followed. It's lesser known. I have to look it up again and see if there's anything online about it. Uh, but it's about. I read a book. He was in he's a case study in a journal. He was a mental. Gosh, I want to say something Grady. He had like, but he was Down syndrome,
Really?
and and he was molested in a group home or a
Hmm.
care home. The home he was placed in because his parents gave him up for being Down syndrome, and then he went on to start abusing. But he'd he'd get passes left and right,
Right.
and he became one of the most prolific. Because he would have kids go get kids for him.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, it happens more than we think, you know?
He would buy booze for teens to bring them kids. And the severity of what he did, but he kept getting passes because of his Down syndrome. Well, he doesn't know. And there was laws passed, uh, introduced and passed after his case. He's one
Yeah.
of the top. He's one of the top cases in Atascadero, California. The
Oh, really?
Atascadero is the state's number one housing for secure housing for predators.
Oh, wow.
Grandy, J-
And where is this, you said?
it was in California and Oregon.
Oh, okay.
He was
Wow.
finally caught in California, but
Right.
if he ever gets out of California, he's going right to fucking Oregon. He got one of those sentences where it's not a sentence. He doesn't have a release date. See,
That's good.
that's that's what people that say, well, I kind of feel sorry for him because he's mentally, no, that is not a pass.
It's
Uh,
no, it's not an excuse. A
that
lot of us,
only factors in to the
yeah,
sentencing and
right.
and
And
the
a lot of us
alternative
in
to
this,
sentencing.
and at least in this stream, we all have spoke on that a few times. But we all feel the same too. Like, using your mental disability as a crutch to,
Mhm.
their little free pass to trying to offend on kids it's not a free pass. It's not, there's no
Mhm.
excuse.
It, it's right in
I
my
feel like
stack of D's. It's right in my stack of D's.
if they're
Uh,
old enough,
defer to
right.
disability, drugs, or drinking.
It's like if they're good enough that they can handle, you know, an entire like, handle their phones and be able to get to the
Yep.
store and this and that, like then you are to me, you should be
Competent,
able to be held accountable,
functionally competent.
100%. Yeah.
You are functionally competent with an impairment.
Yeah, they're
You
all,
are not. You are not.
yeah.
Uh. Uh. Yeah. You don't have a. Yeah. Past a point. It's. And what my thing is like what the deterioration and what elements are around them. And I see these sites, and I see the the path that it takes. It starts with the role playing. It starts with regular porn, softcore. It goes to
Hmm.
hardcore. It goes to role play.
Right.
Which when they're searching role play, usually comes up with Henate or Lolly. I know a guy that had a real big problem, and I also know a girl that has a really big problem with
Hmm.
lolly porn. And then from lolly, it goes to usually 3D or even the dolls or just uh, chat
Hmm.
rooms and forums. And if they're a prior offender, it's the language they're familiar with.
Right.
They are searching for what part of it they enjoyed
Yeah.
with their offender, but
Hmm.
they want to be in that seat, and it's pardon
Can
me,
you
I
hear me,
got
Barbara?
you hear that shiver. Ugh.
What'd
Are
you
we
say,
back?
That's how
Brian?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yep.
it was
Oh,
choppy for a second, but
because I went outside. I don't know. I switched from Wi-Fi to data, but it looked like yours was buffering also. So you were good though?
oh yeah, I mean, I was able to see him the whole time.
Yeah, I
Just
saw
didn't
him
we
too,
didn't
but
you were frozen while you were outside.
okay. All right, if it does that, I'll still be here listening though, okay?
Yeah, and then they get involved with the drugs. They may have an existing mental illness or diminished capacity. They may be
Mhm.
socially awkward, and they find acceptance in these groups. They have a
Yeah.
diminished capacity, no personality. They can't attract women their own age. They don't get out. They're constantly absorbed in that. So when they do the drugs, that's part of those two go together. Porn and drugs is such a volatile mix, especially when there's that need to
Right.
up the dosage
It
or
really is. And
it goes
Tatiana
from
has
that. Mhm. I mean, it goes from soft drugs to the hard drugs to, and then it doesn't stop there. It goes from snorting to smoking to slamming. And it's just like
wow.
porn. There's that's not hard enough, so they do something more intense.
Yep.
I mean,
That's so nuts.
I've read the sex offender assessment. A few there, I think there's like 3 of them, and there's key elements that they all have in common, you know.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see these catchers start asking them about their search history, and I know a few of them, like Matt. He checks their search histories.
Yep. And I mean, they should start doing it more often too. Like I told Jay and Alex and Courtney, and Musa about like some of the secure folders you can find in the like in the Android phones. I'm like, why can't I think of what it is? In the Android phones, because there's a secure folder you can access through the top in the notifications tool. And if it's not on, then you don't see the secure folder anywhere. Only if they have it on can you see it. And at that, you need a password to enter it. But you can store emails, photos, contacts, like everything in it. It's
Yeah,
disgusting.
or
Um,
they hide it, or they're putting it on SD cards and then using a
right.
card reader.
Yes. And yeah. I mean that's one like most of them said they were all aware of, but like,
That's common in shared phone households.
yeah, it's crazy. Like I had no idea about the Android thing. One of my friends had told me, and I've had Androids. I'd never
Mhm.
owned an iPhone. So I'm like, I didn't even know what it was. So of course I had to turn mine on. I'm like, oh, what's this thing? Like, you have to
Yeah.
enter a PIN code or a
Uh,
password
One
in
good thing
order
I do know
to.
is on
Why
Kite,
don't I hear anyone talking?
on Kick, and Snap, and there's one site actually, and they're honeypots, or they're called glowies,
Hmm.
and they're specifically designed with that gray law
Yep.
by agents,
Right.
often state agencies that run the site, so they see where people show up and see where they go when they're there, like they open forums and stuff,
Yep.
and they get these guys to come in, and then they just IP, or they, if they're using VPNs, you get around VPNs all day long, especially if it's a
Right.
cheap or unpaid VPN. I figured
Yep.
that out. I figured out how to do that. That was pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's
Dropping
crazy.
like just pulling IPs off of a Kick group. God, I love that. When
Yep.
they're little, because the thing is they advertise. They want to advertise to get numbers in, to increase their likelihood of either trading
Mhm.
or creating a pool.
Right.
Sometimes
well, most of them were aware of the calculator app. I don't think I heard of Volt, but I did hear about the calculator app, and most of them thought that's what I was talking about when I was explaining it to them. I had to take screenshots and try to show them, like, navigate how to find it when they're looking in a, that's fine, Variety. When they're looking in a kid's phone,
a
because it
calculator
says,
for pictures and stuff hidden as a calculator.
yeah, it's a calculator app. That's what it's called, but it's not an actual calculator. It just looks like a calculator.
It's it's for storage.
Right.
There's a clock one for that too.
Yes, there's a couple of them. And Wog was just saying the calculator app and Volt, and I never heard of Volt, but
yeah, like there's like you have to hit like uh like you hit the timer and then you hit something that you set it for a certain time and it opens it up. It's like, I mean, that's good to keep bank record, but these fuckers use it for that's
right. I mean, and it's sad that we have to be on search all the time for.
Gotta evolve. You gotta evolve.
Like
you gotta evolve.
Oh yeah, exactly.
You gotta get. You gotta like I say the strong approach or the direct approach is it has its place. Don't get me wrong, and some guys pull it off well, but every now and again you got to come in slick.
Yeah,
under pretense, just to put them at ease so they don't turtle up right away.
Also, any moms in the chat, this is a good one too. Sabrina from APP told me about it, but it's on Facebook and they're on Instagram, and it's called An App a Day Keeps the Sickos Away. And they go through several different apps a week, and different reasons why you shouldn't be letting your kids on there, ways to do the parental controls and all that. And at the end of each week, they'll do like a weekly recap on all the sites and stuff to be aware of and look for on your kids' phones. So that way, while you're scanning through their devices, if you see this or that, you'll know either it needs to be off their phone or how to navigate the parental controls so they can stay safe while being online,
Yeah. Are you familiar with Masuku?
No. I will put it on my community post.
She used to be the Kick AI bot.
Oh, okay.
I know her creator, and I've talked with him in the past about like creating an app or creating a AI in the form of an app to put on kids' phones to
help monitor
and to intercept.
Yeah.
And like see what they're saying, get that initial.
Yes, because I think there is one that's out. Somebody was saying before that they have a thing on their phone. It's like an alert or an app, I don't know, but when any adult or anything starts speaking to their child, they immediately get an alert so they can then go speak to their kid and say, hey, like, who's this? Is this your new friend? Without making them feel uncomfortable. You approach it in a different manner, but it also will keep them safe. So it tells you about different apps that they've downloaded, what type of content's on it. I'm like, what? So I got to find out what it was, so that we can put that up there too. Because I told Jay I wanted to start putting more stuff like that on here, also on the community post, so that people can, kind of help.
I would like to see catchers offering some catches the option to install an app on their phone.
What do you mean?
Like, okay, we're not going to call the cop, or we might turn this over. We turn it over to the cops, but in the meantime, why don't you let us put this app on your phone to monitor your phone?
Right. I mean, I don't think
there's legal stuff about that, but
right, because I was going to say I think legally they would not be able to, mostly because it's
But
like
it's their
after
option.
filming,
Just put
they're
it in
not
like
supposed to
as
even have.
a civil contract to say we're a civilian group and we're offering you a civil intervention to put this app on your phone, because if you want intervention, then make a call to somebody and tell them that you'll put this app on their phone and let us and them monitor it. It's up to you. It's strictly up to you. It's a civil contract of accountability.
Yeah. I mean, it would be cool. I do know like some of these catchers get told they can't have any contact with the pred actor, unless at court, and at that they're just only basically allowed to film from a distance kind of thing, not interact. So like if it was like something that like the state or what exactly, Tatiana, they probably would. They would just get a different device. But it's like if it was the state or something who suggested, having that type of a thing on there, that might be different, but the catcher wouldn't be able to. That would come with a lot of legal repercussions.
I'm saying if where there's a gray area, fucking get in there and use it, man.
Right.
Like there's things I'd like to do to bust these fuckers, but I have ethics.
Yeah.
I have ethics, and if you break those ethics, then you're no better than they are.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like they do have to like dance around certain things, unfortunately, but
I'm thinking jigs. By the way, some of the stuff I'm thinking is like jigsaw level shit.
Yeah. I think that's probably a lot of our
I mean, just a Halloween show.
Yep.
Put them all in. Okay, say here's the deal.
Variety.
Here's the deal. You can walk out and the cops will be waiting for you, or go through this course, and one of you might have the chance of walking away with only a slap on the wrist.
Right. Yep.
And the first thing is turn over your phone and password.
Yeah.
Because you can't have you calling and then when you get to that point, you go through their phone, find somebody for them to call, and get them in a room and say, okay, same deal. Walk out now or call.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, drink this.
Yep. That is so true. Here you
Punch
go,
him.
guys.
This guy's here to meet a young kid. How do you feel about that?
Right.
Like I'm all for like Twilight Zone catches where like say a predator shows up and somebody comes up to him and says, "Hey, have you seen this girl?" and hands him a flyer. Like she left home to meet somebody. We don't know what's going on. She was last seen heading in this direction. She might have been talking to somebody online. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Seriously. Let's see. All right. So I'm just writing what I need to put on the community post after.
I like the calling them during having the decoy call during the catch.
Yes.
Like walk up and go, I don't know what you're talking about, and the phone blows up.
Yeah. Yeah, because then they're actually caught in the act, and they say, "Oh no, that's not me. My cousin did it, or my friend did it, or my brother had my phone or my account." Like, no,
I'd like to see one of the decoys have them make her ringtone a certain thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like caught in, like Elvis Presley's "Caught in a Trap."
Right.
I can't hold back.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure one of them, maybe it was Shonda, had done that before.
I know one of them did it with a screensaver.
Yep. Yes, he used the decoy's picture as a screensaver. I remember that.
Yeah.
I forget whose catch that was, but yeah, it's like, I mean, that's so ridiculous. Like, how?
So it's kind of like it serves two purposes. It's or three purposes. No, two. It's the intent and the weight of evidence. It adds to the weight of evidence, and it's also fucking entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely shows a lot of intent for sure.
Yeah. Are you familiar with the German word Schadenfreude?
No.
It's taking pleasure in other people's misfortune.
Okay.
Schadenfreude is like people crashing or messing up somehow. See,
Yep.
that's kind of like that. You kind of get that little twinge of guilt because the person, is just kind of somebody that just kind of like, got a little adventurous. And well, these guys,
Right.
in their cases, it's so well deserved the misfortune that it adds that zest. You got
Yep.
your sweet and then you got your zest on top of that because you
Right.
can't feel bad for the guy.
Right. Exactly. That's why I used to say, like, I used to love it when Jay would have them bring him a Pepsi or a bag of Doritos.
Yeah,
Because it's like, I mean, clearly it's showing that, once they're there to meet him, that was you, buddy. That's not your brother. You're
yeah.
the one who brought the Pepsi for the kid, not your
Nothing,
brother.
nothing tops,
You
nothing tops Alex sitting there eating those fried pickles, man.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm sorry, that was just, that was
Right,
like,
adult humane. I watch a lot of the UK catchers too. I think
yeah,
it's great that they. Oh,
yeah.
it's your birthday too, huh? Adult
I,
humane.
I, I like, I
Adult
like, I
humane
like
female birthday.
catchers, catchers mixing up, uh, key points from other catchers. Like people
Right.
ask you, like I like when the other catchers use themselves. Can I inform you of something? And
Right.
they make them say they keep asking until they say yes.
Right.
They don't just say, "Can I inform you of something?" and then say what they make them say yes.
Yeah. Very true.
I mean, come a long way since Hanson.
Yes, very much so. I mean, I feel like thankfully, you know, everything has evolved with the times. You know what I mean?
Hanson
So,
could learn some shit. Like
right.
in a way, I'm glad that fucking perverted justice was mismanaged and fell apart
Yep.
because it would have set a different precedent and it would have been around longer than it needed to be.
Right.
And I have you ever watched Dave's Lemonade?
No.
He's a channel that goes over like he does a deep dive into the chats and he commentates on the chat logs and some of the interviews too.
Oh, really?
Dave's Lemonade, you got to check him out.
I'm gonna write it down. I don't know why I feel like it sounds familiar. Dave's
Dave's
Lemonade.
Lemonade. He's got like a master's in like communication, so he's really good at like picking up on nuance, like little things.
Right. That's cool. Yeah, Nat, they always think you're the kid.
Uh,
It's just so
I tell you
easy to
what,
like
man, all this
pass
catching
off.
stuff, it couldn't have come along in a better time. I
Right.
mean, it's 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 therapy, man. Every damn catch is a therapy. Every decoy call is a therapy. Seeing these guys make morons of themselves, you know.
Right.
And
Yep.
I like to get under their skin because children can ask, and you know what I mean.
Yep.
Children have, especially when somebody doesn't want to trigger a child
Mhm.
or they have the agenda, they'll they'll go along with things. It's their turn to be deceived.
Right.
I call it, the word is I use is catchfish, catfish, catchfished.
Yep. Bye, Brad, thank you for coming, and good luck tomorrow with your job.
So, any questions from the?
Do you guys have any questions you want to ask
How much
Para?
longer is this? How long is this gonna? What time is it?
You can whenever you're ready
Okay,
to
yeah,
step
I'll
down.
answer some questions. I was
Yep.
expecting guests, but I guess they decided not to show up. I got
Right.
ghosted.
Isn't that the joys? I mean, some people in the beginning were here that I never recognized their names, but so yeah. So if anybody has any questions, we can ask him now. Whether it's about his story or whatever. You
What do
can
you
ask.
think of Grim?
Of who?
Grim.
Grim?
Sister Grim.
Oh, Miss Grim?
Yeah.
I like her. I think she's awesome.
She rocks, man. She has
Yep.
a steady cadence. And you know what I like best about her?
What's that?
Um 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 like when they go quiet, she does the
Yep.
which is so teen, which is like so preteen, you
It
know what I
is.
mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep. The all the time or saying like an awful lot.
The decoys
That
totally
cracks me
get
up.
those mannerisms, man.
Yes, absolutely. Hi, Chrisika.
It's not even the voice. It's not even the voice, the tenor or
No,
the
it's mostly the
it's it's
mannerisms.
it's the mannerisms, and
Hmm.
their fantasy is just their fantasy deludes them the rest of the way.
Well, exactly. A pred's gonna believe whatever they want to believe, you know.
Right. Like
And
what there is generated they call it fly paper. I'll tell you more about that offline.
hmm
Yeah, I'll tell you about that. Let me text you what
yeah,
that is.
yeah, yeah.
So
To
you
me,
know.
that
So we,
to me, that's literally all it comes down to is believe it so much that they actually believe it. You know, luckily, but it's how they go about speaking to them. You know what I mean? So I think that helps a lot. Um, I think it's huge. You're right, Terrence. The decoys don't get enough credit at all. At all. The decoys are like, to me, they're literally the biggest part of this community. If it was not for, the decoys, I mean, we wouldn't be getting the type of outcomes we get, you know. It'd probably be way less catches. Um, they play the part so well. So well. So shout out to all the decoys for helping out and keeping our kids safe too. Because they do all the dirty work, and put up with all the disgusting crap so that none of these kids have to. Let's see. On Mr. Variety's back. Welcome back, Variety. Pterodactyl said, "Hey, Para, I know these Preds are creatures of habit. If you had to put them, hold on, it went way past it. Hold on. All right, hey, Para, I know these Preds are creatures of habit. If you had to put them in a list, how long do you think it will be category wise?"
put what the habits?
Yeah, no, he said, I know these Preds are creatures of habit, but if you had to put them in a list, how long do you think it would be category wise? So yeah,
Um,
probably their habits, I would think.
well, you'd have major groups. You'd have like a number of major groups, and then you have subgroups.
Yeah.
But that's actually been done. You have the two groups, which
Really?
is preferential and opportunistic.
Yeah.
Those are the two major groups. Justin Payne really gets into this. There's
Yeah.
nepiophiles, hebophiles, pedophiles, and enidorophiles. They all specific to age groups. Uh, pedophiles is pre
Prepubescent.
prepubescent.
Mhm.
Hebophiles is teen, pre-18. Nephrophile is toddlers, and endophiles are four, four. No. Are between tweens.
Okay. It does seem like it's very large, yeah.
You get uh you get like the heavily saturated like it depends on what like stage of their like fantasizing when they cross that barrier between fantasizing and seeking out contact. And there's like there's different gosh, what do they call it? Progression. It's progression. It's their degree of progression. And like if they're dull, if they're constantly on their phone and they don't have a life and they're unmonitored and they have a deficit, then the degeneracy is just where they are in that. You know what I mean? What motivates their interest.
Right.
Like they want because they can't associate with people their own age. There's offenders that can't associate with people their own age. So children are like back in the day they would buy the children beer or something. They would hang around the where the kids hung around and and oh, you'd get in trouble doing this and
Right.
and right. Well, if you want beer, you'll do this and that. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Terrence asked, he said, Para, do you think there's any hope for any rehabilitation for the younger Preds than the older Preds?
Younger Preds, you'd have to that's like you've got to get in there and do some like serious therapy, serious impact session. Uh, I mean, they need to be monitored just like uh
Like an inmate?
parolees, and they need that constant. They don't. They no longer get their private space.
Right.
You know, uh, that's where I would put uh, uh, a an app on their phone right there.
Yeah.
Because you have to have a phone these days, and they can make that case. Well, okay, we'll put an app on it. Or we can see what you do.
Yeah.
Even if what I'd like. I mean, as somebody that knows hackers, I don't see anything wrong with hacking these motherfuckers, sending them a link to a fucking to some slickware.
Yeah.
If you can't ask them to say, well, check this out, because they're gonna open it because they're desperate. Here. I think these are pictures from, and they open it and boom, they're cuffed. That's the app. I think that's the app. It's called it's Cuff. That's the legitimate one, but there's ones hackers use to get. Because I've known anonymous people where in the past they weren't too. I mean, they'd crash pedophiles' computers.
Mm-hmm.
They'd send their whole hard drive copy to the fucking police.
Right. Yep.
So,
I remember that, Tatiana, the Pred that Alex had that kept wiping his phone and tablet over and over. That was insane.
any more questions?
Nope. They look
But
like you are.
offenders, the only because chances are online offender has an older one has offended on, so there is a cure. It's called a dose of lead.
Yep. That's what his name was, the Psycho Pred. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. Well, we appreciate you for coming up and sharing your story, Para, for sure.
I went on long. I held out longer than I thought, but it's
Yeah, you
been
did
really a
good.
brain pick. I
You
mean,
did good.
I'd like to see the catcher community evolve, because there's gonna be a dry spell, and it's
Right.
not because they're doing a good job. It's because they're gonna find another way.
Right, because they're
And
catching on.
I've
Yeah.
talked. I'll tell you something offline that has been happening on those grave sites I've been telling you about.
Right.
They're starting to communicate among themselves, or try to communicate among themselves about,
Mhm.
like, what about these catchers, you know?
Right. Yep.
And but most of the grave sites don't allow talk like that, because it actually uh references actual offending.
Right.
They're kind of like
Yeah.
map orientated sites. I use map sites and map groups to kind of like follow people out to, like, where they let their hair down, you know.
Right. Yep.
And yeah,
Everybody in chat is thanking you, Para, for sharing. Nat said thanks for sharing.
thanks, folks.
Taryn said thank you. Variety thanked you. Pterodactyl thanked you. And Rob said he hopped back in chat just to say thank you. And Vlad said thank you also.
Please subscribe to my channel, folks. I
Yes,
have a lot of crazy edits up there.
yeah, I've been watching them. I like them. I put it on my paper to post on the community page after the stream. So I'll go and switch on to my YouTube and get all the links and stuff that I need to make it on a community post and stuff. So I'll probably have a couple of different community posts so that you guys can check out Para's channel and stuff too. So that would be awesome.
It's been fun, everybody. I'm gonna head
Yeah.
out.
Thank you so much, Para. Have a good day, honey.
Bye bye. Thanks for your
Bye.
time.
Absolutely. Okay, guys. I think Variety was having a hard time getting on here. And clearly the kids are home from school, but um yeah, absolutely, Rob. I mean, if you're on her server and she's on a voice chat, definitely go listen, because I think somebody said the other day she found out that there was somebody that was a mod in her on her channel or whatever who happened to be a pred or something. So don't quote me on it because I'm not 100% sure, but definitely go take a listen, because that's some pretty messed up stuff if that's the case, you know. That's what it was, Vlad. Okay. That's just, it's so raunchy. I mean, it's like I was saying before, this community is literally a playground for preds, unfortunately. We're filled with, so many survivors and people who are literally scared to speak up, and so it gives them the wiggle room to reoffend on, people who've already been victimized, unfortunately. So they look at it as an advantage for them. It's sad truth, but so we just need to be more aware ourselves. um yeah, no problem, Variety. Do what you gotta do, honey. We're gonna get off soon anyways, because the kids are home and Para's all set. So and I gotta make the community post. So you do what you gotta do, honey. Always make sure you take care of your stuff first. um but thank you, Rob. Definitely definitely glad that you guys were able to come and support Para today. um and for hanging out and showing me and Variety the love that you guys do every week. We appreciate it so much. So, but Variety, I'll message you later on, or message me when you're done doing what you got to do, honey. But I appreciate you guys. And thank you so much. And we'll see you guys next week. And I will be doing the community post. Thanks.